Okay, so we're now going to go into the celebrations part. Let's just start from the top level. So chatty subjects, EYFS, celebrations, and then you can see all the different ones that we are covering here. We may add different ones in the future because I realise schools tend to choose different ones. We've had a request to do Chinese New Year, so that will probably get added at some point. Let us know if there's one that you always do. Can't promise, but we'll consider adding it for you. So let's go into detail on one of them, and then all the others are exactly the same. We'll do Easter first, and I always suggest going into word map first of all, just so you can be familiar with what all the target vocabulary is. Some of these pictures are a bit similar. So for example, party and singing look quite similar. So it's worth knowing what the picture is actually meant to be signifying. Quite an abstract concept to show singing really, but you know, we've had our best go at creating an image for that. So any one of these we can bring up, cake, and we can use this as a tool to review and check how much children are remembering. So if you click on the word,
cake,
it will say it. So let's just go around this. What's this called? It's obviously called a cake. Can the children remember that? What's the initial sound of the word? It's the k sound. As speech therapists, we use that particular phonic grapheme, but I realise that you're teaching children both of them, the curly k and the kicking k. What's a word that goes with cake? You might say birthday, you might say candle. Get the children just to suggest different words, and we're forming connections between different parts of their vocabulary there. Can they remember any other of the birthday words that they've been taught? So maybe it's a word like party, maybe it's a word like card, maybe it's a word like blowing because of blowing out the candles. A candle is another word, etc. Where would you find a cake? Usually associated with special occasions like birthday, treats, etc. What does a cake look like? It could be all different things, couldn't it? It could be chocolate, could be, I don't know, so many options there. Maybe carrot cake, not sure that'll be the most popular. And so you can see your answer, the children's answers are going to be shown up on here. You can screen capture this, but it will just help you to get a feel for how many are remembering what you've taught them. Makes a nice carpet activity, really. The main place I would use for teaching the vocabulary is in word cards. So for example, you've got a much bigger picture here that'll come up on the screen. You can go through just teaching individual words at very broad level of vocabulary teaching, but you really should be using this spinner to help flesh out each word, help form connections between the words, and just help that vocabulary learning to be much stickier. So let's say what this is called. It's a candle. What do candles look like? They're made of wax. They have a little flame at the top. When you light them, we blow them out. Where do you find them? On a cake. What's the initial sound of the word? It's a k sound. What's the word that goes with candle? I would say flame, or I would say wax, or I might say birthday cake. Any of those is fine. Any suggestions? Can we think of another item in this birthday group that we're learning? So we've already skipped past balloon, card, party, all of those words. And that's it. And then you might move on to another word, teach them a couple of the birthday words. We've got hat. If you click on the word, it will say what it is as well. What we've also got is a nice composite picture. So here you can see the children playing a piñata, but you can use this in any way you want. Maybe you talk about what happened before this, what might happen afterwards, what game are they playing, have they ever played it, why do they need to be careful, what present might they bring for the children, all of those sorts of things. But it does come with a set of blank levels of comprehension questions, ranging from level 1 right through to the hardest at level 4. So these are the easy questions. Then it starts to get a little more abstract. what might happen next, a bit of prediction, what might they be saying to each other, so they need a bit of theory of mind. Which child is about to hit the piñata, what might happen if the piñata breaks, how are the presents looking the same, why is she wearing a blindfold, blah, blah, blah. And then we get on to why questions, which are the hardest. You can say which levels, so if you think level 1 and level 2 are too easy for your class, it will get started at level 3. If you don't think any of your children are at level 3 or 4, most of them are at level 2, it will just give you level 2. So don't forget to use settings over here to set the right level for your group of children. And then you've got games, so we'll pop into pairs. We've got a present. If you click on the picture, it does say what it is. Got a balloon, and we've got 2 presents there, so we found a pair. If that's too easy for the children you're working with, you can set it to 12 cards. I would have thought for EYFS, you're probably looking at 8 as being appropriate. Children are all different, aren't they? They'll all be in different places each time you go in. It's just randomly generated. You've got Kim's game. So we've got blowing, candle, present, and singing. Which one's disappeared? Was it friends or present? And it was present. Then we'll say spin again. Let's get 4 new pictures. And we've got hat, candle, singing, and present. Which one's disappeared this time? Was it blowing or present? Let's get it wrong. Just get a sad face. And then if you get the right one, it just jiggles about, etc. So really important to keep saying the words, because this is exposing all the children to the vocabulary multiple times, which is what they need. Magic cups. We've got card. Now we're going to cover card up. I keep repeating the word card so that they're being exposed to it. And then card is going to move around, and we've got to keep watching card and see where it ends up. If we get it right, let's get a little burst of confetti. There's a setting for this which will make it go much faster. So if you find the children that you're working with are capable, then you can make it move more and move faster just by going into settings and clicking on the harder option here. Okay, and essentially that's how it works. And I'll just quickly pop into each celebration now so you can sort of see the vocabulary that we're covering. And again, you could brainstorm it, or you could go into the full pictures, or there is a nice composite picture for each one as well with blank level questions. All the games as usual. Let's look at Hanukkah. You can see what the vocab is there. You've got the big versions with the vocabulary prompts, and you've got a composite picture for discussion. Let's look at Christmas. It's all very red and green. Got a nice scene, sat around your Christmas meal. We've got Eid, composite picture there. All the individual words. We've looked at birthday, then we've got baptism. There's all the core words. Some of these are quite similar, so I would suggest learning the picture that goes with each of these vocabulary terms. It was quite hard to come up with images for some of these, quite abstract. And then we've got a nice composite picture again, showing the baby being baptised. We've got Easter, and 2 sets for Easter. One is more religious. I think set 2 is the religious. Set 1 is the more secular version of Easter, with your basket, your bunny. Nice composite picture where they're making Easter hats, and they're painting eggs. And then slightly more religious version, just to show you the vocabulary there, and a more appropriate religious picture with blank level questions. Okay, I think that's it. So I hope that gives you an idea of how to use EYFS. You can check the help out as well if you want to go back over what I've been saying here.